We begin this morning with senior contributor Ted Koppel, searching for civility in the town that's said to have inspired the holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
There's a little town in central New York that our old colleague Bill Geist visited 14 years ago.
On Christmas morning, what better place to be than Seneca Falls, New York? The town proudly and loudly proclaims that it was the inspiration for the Christmas film classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
Merry Christmas! Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
And every year, they have this festival celebrating the occasion.
I've been waiting my whole life to come up here and see this.
Really?
Yeah, I believed in Santa Claus when I was a kid, and I believed in the movie.
The movie has been around for almost 80 years now, but just in case you don't know the plot, Jimmy Stewart plays George Bailey, this sweetheart of a guy who runs a building and loan association.
Well, your money's in Joe's house. That's right next to yours. And in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Maitland's house, and 100 others.
Just the soul of decency and kindness and selflessness.
This rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath?
And then there's Lionel Barrymore. He's Mr. Potter, who runs the big bank in town.
Are you running a business or a charity war?
Well,
not with my money.
And he's none of those things.
Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay 50 cents on the dollar.
In a nutshell, we get to see what the town would have been like if George Bailey hadn't ever existed.
Pottersville? Well, you mean Bedford Falls.
I mean Pottersville. Don't think I know where I live.
13 Wham News.
It could have been a little like this.
Continued contention.
A few weeks back, at a Seneca Falls town board meeting, a local resident kept talking after debate had been shut down, and a board member, Frank Sinacropi, seemed to offer a drastic solution. He was kidding, but he did tell the police chief to shoot one of the townspeople. Bad timing. After all, this was just a few weeks before all those tourists come pouring into town, searching for the annual festival celebrating the movie.
Well, welcome to our town.
You live here?
I live here, yeah. Yeah, it's a great place.
Kevin McDonald wasn't born when the movie was made, but he lives and breathes the message.
Especially this time of year, the spirit. You can't be here and not smile.
It's on a bridge, just like this one, that director Frank Capra brings his hero, George Bailey, to the brink of suicide. That fellow down in the water is actually an angel, who, by keeping George from suicide and getting him to perform this heroic rescue, will earn his wings. Locals believe it's based on a real rescue in 1917.
Somebody tried to end their life here, and he was on one of these shores and jumped in to save her, right. Got her to shore, and then he succumbed. He was an immigrant from Italy. We have a heroes celebration in April to honor him.
Kind of ironic, isn't it? In these times with what's happening to immigrants.
It sure is.
But when this reporter visits the local cafe and talks about immigrants today, people being rounded up and sent, well, overseas, not necessarily back to their own countries.
Yeah. You poor thing. You're going to have a hard time this weekend because everyone I've met today is going to focus on the positive.
No, that's fine. I got no trouble with you focusing on the positive. I'm just not going to make it that easy for you.
No.
You're focusing on the positive,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing a country that is getting caught up in the negative. You can't ignore that.
When you come to Seneca Falls, you get it. It's healing and it's hope. I think that's one of the reasons we're so drawn to this movie, just to get ourselves back to kindness again.
It's an inescapable message, even from Jimmy Hawkins and Carolyn Grimes. They played two of the Bailey children, Tommy
Excuse me.
and Zuzu.
Daddy!
Zuzu, Oh, Zuzu, my little ginger snap.
How many lines did you have in the movie? Do you remember?
Not many.
Not. And yet people hold on to you.
Yes.
What is it they're holding on
It's
to?
that line she says at the end.
What's that?
Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
And everywhere she goes. Right.
Come on.
No.
Really?
I believe it.
Oh, do you?
Oh, I do.
I'm sorry.
Are you a cynic?
A cynic? I don't think you can be in my line of work
Without being a
for as many years as I have been without becoming a bit of a cynic. Well, for example, amid all that joyful spirit of kindness and civility hanging over Seneca Falls at this time of year, there is also that just looming over the edge of town.
You're looking at Seneca Meadows, which is the largest landfill in the whole northeastern United States.
Bill Lutz has a plant that packages bottles and containers for wineries and breweries in the shadow of Seneca Meadows.
That hill is filled with all kinds of garbage and toxic chemicals and vapors that come off it on a daily basis. We have a hard time not only retaining employees, but attracting new employees. It's definitely a challenge to try to get people that want to move here, and it certainly affects our business.
Not surprisingly, Seneca Meadows told us they are a good neighbor who consistently meets or exceeds safety standards and regulations. In fact, that's part of their argument for why they should be allowed to expand.
It was flat land not too many years ago. Now they're moving to an expansion that would have taken another 15 years and another 70 feet higher.
Now, isn't that just the kind of thing that would have driven Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, nuts?
You spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter.
They've got plenty of money, lawyers to keep it going. It's a big Texas company, and they want to continue to grow it because they can do it here in a small town.
In fact, that's what we have downtown. A small town with a museum about a movie. Well, part of a movie. People don't really want to remember the other half of the movie. What could have happened to the town.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is Anway Law, who created the It's a Wonderful Life Museum in town.
People want to go back to simpler times. This reminds them of that and gives them the opportunity to do that for a short period of time.
What are we seeing today? Are we seeing a reflection of George Bailey's world, or are we seeing a reflection of Mr. Potter's world?
Oh, that's awfully touchy.
Yeah.
It's trying to be Mr. Potter's world, I think. But I think there's enough George Baileys out there that it's going to balance their direction.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man.
Mr. Potter, our villain in the movie, seems to go unpunished, although Harold Buchholz, a student of the film, sees a greater message.
We're a little bit surprised when George Bailey has his life back.
Yay! Hello, Bedford Falls!
He's so excited to be alive again. As he's running home, he stops by the bank, bangs on the window.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter!
His arch enemy. And I think if we choose to accept it, that's ultimately Capper's challenge to us is love your enemies. You will be richer and the community will be richer if you can find a way to do that.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
It's a picture-perfect Hollywood ending that endures as a message to our better angels. We have a happy ending.
Yes.
Yeah. Reality doesn't always go that way. Right, Angel?
Depends if you believe. We all have a calling.
And there's this need for people to come together, and there's this need for people to care about each other and help each other. And this movie prompts that in people, because that's it within them.
It's a spotlight on what we could be.
Exactly.
On what we can be.
And we all really want to be.
And want to be, not necessarily what we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll settle for that.
Yeah.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell his wings.
That's right. That's right.